Hey, I'm really glad you're here. I want to start today by slowing us down just a little bit. So, because most of us move through life in a pace that doesn't actually allow us to hear ourselves, we skim our own inner world. We manage symptoms, we optimize for behavior, but rarely do we stop long enough to ask the deeper question: what is shaping the way I move toward or away from life, the life that I want? Today, I want to talk to you about 4 emotional habits that quietly, subtly, often lovingly keep us from what we want most. Not because we're broken, not because we lack discipline, but because at some point these habits made sense to us. They were formed in moments where we learned how to stay emotionally safe, how to belong, how to endure. So in today's episode, I want to talk to you about 4 emotional habits that keep you from what you want. So if you've ever found yourself thinking things like, I know what I want, but I can't seem to move toward it. I keep circling the same patterns. I feel so close, but not quite there. This conversation is for you. Before we go any further, I want to name something important. Nothing in this episode is about fixing you. There's no moral failure here. No indictment on your character or who you are as an individual. This episode is about becoming more honest with you, more compassionate towards the parts of you that learned how to survive. So let's begin. Habit number 1 is giving away your inner authority. This is one of the most common habits I see and one of the hardest to notice. It's the habit of outsourcing your inner identity. Here's what I mean. You wait for confirmation before you move. You look for reassurance before you decide. You need something else to reflect back that you're okay before you trust your own instincts and your own sense of knowing. It sounds like this. I just want to be sure. I need one more opinion. What if I'm wrong? Now, on the surface, this looks like wisdom. It looks like humility, thoughtfulness, but underneath everything, very often, this is fear. Fear of regret, fear of exposure, fear of trusting yourself and discovering you might be disappointed. And at some point, trusting yourself didn't feel safe at all. Maybe your instincts were questioned. Maybe your emotions were minimized. Maybe you learned that being wrong meant being alone. So you adapted. It could look like this. If I let others decide, I can't be blamed for making that decision. That adaptation makes sense, but here's the cost. When you give away your authority, your life starts to feel like it's on hold. You're always wanting for green lights that never quite turn on. And no amount of external assurance can replace your internal permission. Self-trust isn't certainty, it's a trusting relationship with yourself. That's what self-trust means. And like any relationship, that self-trust is built slowly through experience, repair, choosing yourself, and discovering that you survive. So here's a question I want you to sit with. What am I waiting for permission for that might never come? Here's habit number 2. Y'all are going to be, relate to this. Staying busy to avoid what you feel. Habit number 2 is subtle because it hides in good things. It doesn't always look like numbing out, watching Netflix. It can look like being productive, being self-aware and looking inward all the time, listening, learning, improving, but nothing ever really changes in you. You might say, I'm just not ready to take that next step. I need to work on myself more first. I'm preparing for the future. But preparation isn't the problem. You can be preparing for a marathon and never run a marathon. Avoidance is the problem. There's a difference between healing that opens your life and healing that keeps you suspended. Often we delay action not because we don't want the outcome, but because we don't want the emotional exposure that comes with movement. Trying something new, trying something that feels scary means feeling vulnerable. So the nervous system says, let's stay right here, it's safer. And again, this makes sense, but safety without movement eventually becomes stagnation. Here's a gentle question for you. What emotion might I have to feel if I actually went for what I want? I'll say that again. What emotion do I have to feel if I actually went for what I want? We feel it. We feel disappointment. Is it grief? Is it fear? Is it shame? Awareness here doesn't push you, it softens you, and softened people move more freely because we function in a way that allows for experience to come to us, not guard us. Are you ready for habit number 3? Confusing intensity with aliveness. This one runs deep. Many of us learn that intensity equals meaning. Chaos feels familiar. Urgency is normal. High emotion is being alive. So when life becomes steady, predictable, quiet, something in us gets really restless. When things get quiet, you might feel like something's wrong, that this can't be it, because we've never really sat with peace. It's withdrawal. Perhaps your nervous system was shaped by adrenaline growing up. Peace feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe, so we stir things up, we overthink, we create problems. I count as one of them, and this is something that I'm learning to unlearn. We abandon good things just because they begin to stabilize, not because we love chaos, but because we haven't yet learned how to live without it. If this resonates like habit number 3, as with me, I just want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. You may simply be learning how to inhabit calm for the first time. And calm at first can feel so empty, even lonely. But it's not emptiness, it's just space. And finally, the last habit, becoming the role that once protected you. This one hits hard because it shows up for people that are capable, dependable, high functioning. You're not just someone that copes well, you are the coping strategy. You're the person people go to when they want a strong one, a responsible one, a helper, the one who doesn't need much. But y'all know, we all need some. These roles kept you safe, they earned you belonging, but when identity fuses with survival, growth becomes threatening. Because who you are without that role can feel scary. If you stop performing, will it still matter? If you rest, will you be left? If you need, will you be too much? So even when you want more ease, more creativity, more intimacy, your body can resist that. Not because you don't want change, but because letting go feels like disappearing. I want you to hear me clearly, that you are not what you do. You are not your roles. They were wise responses to old realities. But you are allowed to outgrow what once kept you alive. So what actually creates change? Change happens when the nervous system learns something new. When it says, I give you permission to move toward this and still be safe. That learning can happen slowly, through small risks, through presence, through staying with yourself instead of abandoning yourself. Here are a few simple practices just so we can put this into concrete steps. Name what's happening without judging it. Oh, this is what my body responds to when I'm afraid. This is what my body responds to when I'm being protective. Listen to your body. Before action, notice the sensation. Number 3, build trust in small ways. Keep quiet promises to yourself. Let calm feel unfamiliar. Be in that. You're not regressing for struggling in rest. You're just recalibrating. I want to leave you with this. You're not behind. You're not failing. There's likely a part of you formed a while ago that is doing its best to keep you safe. That part doesn't need to be eliminated. It needs to be understood and gently led forward. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to become fully present in who you already are. You're already beautiful. Thank you for being here. If this resonated, take your time with it. And if you want support along the way, you can find me at sincerepractice.com or join me again next time. Until then, go slowly, stay honest, and be kind to yourself. My name's Helen, and I'll see you next week.